We signed up on the project. We recruited the replacement. We worked on these people for the 3 months. And then on the evening of a Friday, we went to the organization, laid off the entire management staff, about 8 of them, right? By Monday, new set of people resumed. Till in 8 months, we tripled the revenue of the organization. Consulting doesn't sell by sending random proposals. It sells by looking for the contact first, then using one contact as your entry point. So the moment I changed my strategy. Then I started, so I said, see, at this point, don't worry, I will not send proposals again. Let me pursue contacts. Then when I get the contact, I'll say, these are the things that we have, And then I learned also that, when you are selling and you are the one doing most of the talking, then your selling is wrong. When you are trying to sell, the person you are trying to sell to should be the one doing the most of the talking. You should be the one asking the most of the
questions.
Right. Because it is asking those questions I can say, okay, maybe these people is even asking me the right questions. Maybe really they have the right solution. So, for example, if somebody says to me today, say, oh, Bolu, we need a proposal for XYZ training. I'm not going to jump and start working on proposal. No, God forbid. I would say to you that before working on this proposal, I need to understand,
what you're trying to solve for
is. In fact, I set up a meeting just to come and understand your problem. I've had a scenario. I was talking to somebody and I was asking a lot of questions. That was like, Bolu, you're asking me too many questions. I said, well, I don't want to join the line of all the other consultants you have used that they never produce for you. If you are not going to answer all of my questions, then let's not bother, because it is a problem I understand. I can
help you solve.
So those are the things that I use. Those are the mindset that I have, that has helped me in growing into this point, right?
Yeah.
But to in a nutshell, number one is audacity, right? Audacity, right? Number two is clear vision on exactly what I want to create. In fact, even right now, I'm not even scratched the surface yet. It's still, I'm not even scratched the surface, right? Number three is continuous learning and development, right? Even though I am in the train and development space, the volume of what I consume, right, is enormous. And I'm not consuming because I want, it's possible for me to be learning so I can teach better. I am learning so that I can do my business better. As a doing my business better, then I get more opportunities. In fact, it will interest you that throughout last year, if we had 100 trainees, I'm not sure if I set up to 20 of them.
So your associates did most of that, right?
And why? Which is one of the reasons why we've also been able to grow this fast, is because I recognize that if I spend all of my time facilitating the training, yes, I am saving the money we would have paid to the associates. I'm retaining the money in the company, but I am be able to do the strategic work that will help us grow.
And I think that's smart, right? I mean, thinking about it now, Bolutife, thanks for all that you shared. These are very not just inspirational; they are quite instructive, to be honest, right? And thinking about it now, it looks like similar to the call that you made in 2016 to, go low to go high, right? It looks like you're consciously making decisions for the future, right? You're always like trying to deliver the future, and you look at today, what can we do differently so that we can deliver a better future? So even if it means that there is a pain point, right?
Today.
Or it's going to out a little bit, yes, but you're willing to do that. You get what I mean? So, for instance, this conversation this story just shared about, you having not facilitating up to 20% or up to 25% of the training gigs that your outfit got, and you had to kind of use freelancers or use associates so that you can focus more on the strategic things. It's not that the strategic things are necessarily giving you more money in the now, right?
Yeah.
But they will
more in the future.
in the future. Yeah. So, I mean, that is quite instructive. Now there is something I want to double click on that you mentioned in passing, and I don't know. We'll probably get to a point where we talk a little bit about the ethos of your organization in terms of the values that drive. But for me, I'm quite impressed about the fact that you're not just trying to tick the box with the client. You're like, guys, I need to understand what you're trying to solve for before I can provide solutions. As the guys in medical science will tell us that, uh, um, uh, what do you guys do with when they tell you the drugs to use, right?
Prescription.
Prescription, right? That's what I'm looking for. As the guys in medical science will say, prescription before diagnosis is malpractice, right? And there are a lot of people, and Nigeria has a lot of, especially pharmacists in Nigeria, do a lot of those things. And you get to the store, and they don't fully understand what the problem is. They just give you everything, right? And what happens at the end of the day? The problem is not solved. Credibility is lost, right? So it looks like you are very result oriented. You don't just want to take the boss and get the money. You really want to deliver value, right? Is
Absolutely.
that correct? And if that is correct, yeah, how does that impact someone? Have you ever had to walk away from a deal because you guys that they want a shortcut or something, and you're like, this is not going to happen? If we want to do it, we should do it right.
In Kyo, these things that we're talking about are part of the fundamentals of my organization, and everybody that works knows it, right? I've refunded. There was one executive that wanted me to work with him. I think about 3 or 4 years ago, right? He had paid already. I was going to work with him for a month. He had made a deposit of 1 million, right? And I was like, okay, before we start the session, let me do a clarity call with this person. By the time we jumped clarity call, I recognized that there is no way I'm going to produce results with this person, And after the clarity call, I sent the man an email. I said, thank you very much for considering working with me. But through the lens of a clarity call, I have discovered that I'm not the right coach for you. Absolutely. I have instructed the office to refund your money to you. The man did not believe it. It was like, who walks away from a payment? Right. And they refunded the money, and that was all. Right. 2 years ago, there is a particular client we're trying to work with. It's in the logistics space here in Nigeria, right? And so their own logistics is kind of different. Is CIT transit, so they have of armored vehicles moving for banks and things, right? And so we started working with them, and they had a lot of problems, organization top bottom problem, right? And I looked at the organization and I said to the CEO that for us to be able to really create the kind of results that we want, I am going to fire all of your management staff and I'm going to recruit new ones. I am going to train the new ones off-site for 3 months. I'm going to work on them for 3 months, right? When they are ready, I would come, relieve these people, and these people will resume immediately. Right. We had a lot of back and forth around it. We signed up on the project. We recruited the replacement. We worked on these people for the 3 months. And then on the evening of a Friday, we went to the organization, laid off the entire management staff, about 8 of them, right? By Monday, new set of people resumed. Kill. In 8 months, we tripled the revenue of the organization. In 8 months. Now, but we then had a problem. Apparently, for one reason or the other, the CEO, who is also the MD CEO of the company now, because of the problem he had with the organization before, mistrust and all of those things, he had a way of micromanaging. Because what I said was that I was going to recruit these people, then I will manage them for 6 months after recruiting them. Because what I drew out was a full year plan, right? Because I wanted to turn the organization around completely, right? So I managed these people for about 6 months. We have tripled revenue. Some conversations that they cannot have with the client, to change rates and all of that. We had the conversation. Rates were changed. A lot of things. I brought in a new head of workshop. Their downtime reduced significantly. And their labels just went up. Then the man began to suspect that, with all of these ones, are we not giving people too much power? Are we not giving this? Are we not giving that? And his own fear started showing. And we were in the management meeting one day, and he said something. He said, I don't like the relationship that is between high performance consulting and this set of people. There is a possibility for them to do transaction. As at that time, this organization was still owing me close to 5 million. I stood up from that meeting. I said, I cannot sit in a meeting where, you'd be discrediting the quality of the work that we have done. Right? If you don't trust that we can deliver the organization, then let me know now and let me wait. KO, I walked away. Up to today, that organization did not pay us that balance, and I did not go back.
Wow.
Should I tell the truth? 3 months after I walked away, all the people I brought into the organization left.
Because he couldn't give them the space to operate. He couldn't.
All the people I brought in 3 months after I left, all of them left that organization. Today, the organization has gone back to where it used to be. In fact, somebody was telling me that maybe like in November, FIRS came to shut down the operation for about 3 days because they cannot pay up taxes.
I mean, a thought is crystallizing in my mind as you're saying that, and let me pack that thought. Let me pack that thought. No, because I mean, thanks a lot for saying that. Now, bringing all of this together, well, in terms of the ethos and the values that guides high performance, consulting, what would you say are those 1, 2, 3, 4 things that when people join your organization? Okay.
Yeah. So in high performance consulting, we say that we care, right? So we care about our clients, we care about ourselves, we care about the quality of the work that we do, we care about everything. And care, in itself, is an acronym for something. So on the one part, we interpret care as the word care, right?
Yeah.
But on the second part, the word care then stands for something to us. So when we say we care, C stands for consistency. So that means that we are consistent. We're consistent. We don't drop ball because of the amount of money you are paying or the amount of money you are not paying. If we say we are going to deliver a price, even if we later discover that that price cannot deliver the job, it's either we renegotiate but we are bound by what we say we are going to deliver.
You have made.
Right. When you see the quality of what we are doing for the high ticket client versus the quality of what we are doing for the low ticket client, there is no difference, because for us, consistency is key. Number 2 is E, right? Sorry, number 2 is A. That is audacity. For us in Help of Mass Consulting, our level of audacity is next to nothing, right? There is no door we cannot knock. In fact, the amount of failures that we've had in this life is sufficient to say, let us shut down our door and be going home. You know, but no, we are audacious. We experiment.
When you say failure, do you mean no, or failure in terms of even on projects?
Failure in terms of projects that ideas that we want to work with,
worked on,
not work. And as it's not working, we are saying, okay, what else can we do? Because the truth of the matter is that if you are not doing enough of projects, right, you don't have enough pedigree to use to negotiate, right? So it's one thing that you are getting client projects. It's another thing that you yourself, you are creating things that are making you relevant. So, for example, we have what we call the Business Growth Lab, right, that we launched sometime last year. We have, so we have a lot of projects like that we have created, to be able to keep edging our name in the consulting space, right? Yeah. Some have failed, as in failed woefully, that we lost the money we tried to use. But it's okay, because we are learning.
Yeah.
The more we try, the more we see how it can work and how it cannot work. So A, audacity, right? R stands for result oriented. So for us, we are result biased, not activity biased. So when we are thinking about things, the question is, will it deliver results? If it will deliver results, go for it. If it will not deliver results, no matter how sweet and enjoyable it is, abandon it, right? So we are result biased, not activity biased. And then is that we go the extra mile. So when we say we go the extra mile, what does it mean? When we promise you that we're going to deliver 20 for you, we want to be able to beat our chest to say that we deliver
30.
So this is the ethos that governs what we do, right? In my organization, mistake is forgivable easily, right? As long as you are in alignment with this 4, right?
Wow. That's inspiring. That's inspiring. I mean, thanks a lot for sharing that. And it looks, I mean, just thinking of practices and habits and all of that, you mentioned a while back that, at the very, very beginning of this, right? No, not at the very beginning, after doing the freelancing thing for a while, right? That, you took like a 2-week break, and then you went for a retreat, and, and it looks like what we see today in your outfit is a product of that exercise, right? Is that something you still do from time to time, right? And do you also help organizations, lead such strategic kind of retreat to help them become better, become high performers, so to say?
So for me as a person, I'm a believer in retreats, because I believe that you can only build from a place of rest, right? There is a lot of wisdom that comes from a place of silence, right? That is why, you get your best of ideas when you are in the shower in the morning, taking your bath, because there's something that happens to your mind when there's a lot of quietness and peace around. So I do take personal retreat once every year, right? To go and, again, this is not organizational retreat, this is personal. To go think about it, to go and rethink. Then, based on what I'm bringing back, we can now do organizational retreat. But one of the things I'm even thinking that should be able to do this year, to be able to do moving forward, like do 2 retreats in a year, right? Because the quality of the thinking that we bring to the table determines the speed at which we can really grow, right? So one of the things I've noticed is that a lot of business owners, CEOs, and all of that, they are so belabored with operational work that they cannot do strategic work. And the moment work is not done, organizations cannot grow. What grows an organization is strategy. What consolidates an organization is operations. So we can keep going around operation, but we are just still on the same level, or we are not even being, if we moved at all, it was just a needle kind of movement, right? So I'm always looking for how to disconnect to go on those retreats. And yes, part of our offering is facilitating, strategy retreats for a lot of our clients, right? And we've had the opportunity of helping um, quite a number of organizations shaping the way they are thinking about, themselves. One of the things I'm always pointing people at in my own strategy session is, what's our why? Right? The moment we're able to ascertain that, we can to build from there, right? Because we don't know where we're going. How can we find a pathway there? So it's always a question of where are you going? Where are you today? Then we can bridge the gap. And being those are the 2 major conversations. So it's in between that we now say, okay, let us come with the key results area for each of the departments, based on what we've been able to say our vision is. So from the vision to the strategic focus for the year, right? And from the strategic focus for the year to the key results areas of each of the departments, from the key results of the departments to the daily activities of the individual. Then how do you measure that? So in those retreats, we then create reporting templates. We create a lot of things that then help support
Resources, yeah.
towards the achievement of that. So yes, why I'm able to also do that for others is because it's something I do, regularly myself.
Cool. I mean, it's interesting to hear all of this that you're sharing. I want to go back a little bit to. I want to go back a little bit to. I hope you have a little bit of time. If that's okay. Say in another 2025 we should wrap up. Is that all right?
That's fine.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bolu.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go back to the conversation we had a bit on the 800, the proposal that you said, if you don't count at all, you've released about, like 800 proposals, right? I know that if we go through the register of organizations in Nigeria is in thousands, right? If not millions, right? Across industries, across spaces, and the question I'm trying to get to is, how do you profile and how do you kind of streamline your target audience or your target client, right? How did you kind of define them? Because now it may not look like you have 800 people you're working with today, but even reaching out to 800 is a lot. But that, in the grand scheme of the number of possible organizations you can be working with, right, is still not like you are going everywhere trying to reach everybody. Do you get what I mean? So how did you kind of say, okay, a lot of organizations we can do consulting for, but we want to focus on this because perhaps maybe for these guys this is it, and then you kind of laser focus on that. I hope that is clear.
Okay, yeah, it is clear actually. At the earliest stage, maybe between the first 1 or 2 years, right, I wasn't smart about it, right? So I was just like, I was like somebody that was, just beating the waters and just trying to ensure that you don't sink. But, along the line, I learned something very profound. That on the one part, it is one thing that you've been able to clearly define your target audience, right, relative to the kind of people you want to serve. But when it comes to selling, what would make your sales effort to be more laser-like is master qualifying your leads. Right? Now, initially my strategy was, those is they say, send cold call, send cold emails, get emails and all of those things, develop proposals that you think they need, and then start. So now I sent out a lot of proposals then, but I didn't get a lot of, it's not even a lot of yeses now. I did not even get a lot of conversation first. Maybe it is when you have conversation that can close.
It didn't even turn the lock at all. Nothing. It was like was like water on the back of a bird. Everything just kind of.
It did not even. So I recognize that if I keep going that way, we're not going to have so much.
We're not going anywhere. Yeah.
Exactly. So I changed my strategy, right? Which is to understand first is that having a contact doesn't make it a lead yet.
Yes.
Right? So I needed to be more up close. Then I also understood that when it comes to sales, if you are able to qualify a client or a prospect before you even start talking to them, you increase your chances of making a sale. So when it comes to qualifying, I then learned that there are 3 major questions that you must need to ask yourself.
Hey, thanks a lot for taking the time to watch the podcast. We are super thankful for you taking that time and investing the time to learn. We hope that you find the story inspiring, and beyond that, that you've been able to articulate 1 or 2 things that you want to do differently in your own entrepreneurial journey. May I encourage you to please like, subscribe, comment, and please share the word within your own circle of influence, especially within those that you think are on the same entrepreneurial journey with you. May I also encourage you to please, beyond subscribing to our YouTube channel, follow us on our other social media platforms. That means a lot to us, and we can see that that helps us to track that we're making some progress and so making some impact. Thanks a lot once again for taking the time to watch, and please see you on the next episode.